Hey, what's up? Intros. Didn't I just say last time that I was good at intros and I was bad at outros? Well, that goes to show you I'm bad at both of them. Oh man, here we are, back again. I'm trying to do this a lot more regularly. Like, oh yeah, it's a New Year's resolution. You'll do that for 60 days, barely. Maybe, but maybe those 60 days change my life. Who knows? That sounded darker than I meant it to. Why was that? Should we start with the music now? Should we get the song recommendation out of the way now? Oh, I did say I was going to do that a few episodes ago. All right, so here's the thing I'm struggling with right now, guys. I am what is this? I don't even know what number they are anymore. You know, they were up there or something. I know, crap. Oh yeah, I was going to talk about short-term memory loss. I was going to talk about that. About how I feel like the dude from Memento all the time. It's just like all of a sudden you're like, I just don't remember that. I'm sorry. I genuinely don't. I'm like, sure you don't. But then she tests him and he drinks the spit and everyone's like, ugh, gross. Like nobody would do that willingly. Or he did, because he's so committed. Then you find out Sammy was a con man. Then you find out he actually might have had it. I don't know, something like that. I don't know. It's a weird movie. But it was so groundbreaking, and we all knew Christopher Nolan was destined for greatness. Memento. A lot of people saw Memento. And then they were like, oh, we didn't reward him for Memento. And then when Insomniac came out, they were like, here's a bunch of awards for Insomniac. And I was like, I actually like Insomniac better. Insomniac's good. Insomniac's very good. Anyways. All of Christopher Nolan's work can be traced back to Doodlebug. Check out Doodlebug. When you watch Doodlebug, you literally will see every thematic element from everything he's ever done in that little short film. It's so short. It's incredible. It's really incredible. It's such a wonderful breakdown of the hero's journey. It's pretty... The more you think about it, the better it gets. Wow, that is a good short. That's a good short. It works. It doesn't matter if you told me that is like David Lynch work good. You know what I mean? But like making Lynch able to be digested by the masses. Because you show some people Eraserhead and they're like, I don't know what I'm looking at, I don't like it. Turn it off now. But then other people like me, I'm like, what the heck is this, dude? How do they do that? I was like, I don't even know how they did that. What? What does the baby look like? What? How'd they do this? Anyway. Water towers. I'm looking at a water tower right now, dude. Water towers. That's such an American thing, I feel like. This is the water we all drink. It's right here. And we have all kinds of security surrounding it. Like, why? You're like, because all they have to do is put something in here and then everyone's insane. Didn't you see that Christopher Nolan movie? You know, the one with the Batman, where they're dumping stuff in the water. And they're like, must be absorbed through the lungs. Think about that, man. What if somebody was just doing that? Batman was always fighting people putting stuff in the water supply. Even back in the shark repellent days. Oh, man. Should I tell you guys I found that? There's some really old Batman serials that are floating around on YouTube and stuff. And there's like a whole bunch of old serials that are kind of out there. They're public domain. The characters aren't public domain, but the works are. It's all very complicated. You couldn't possibly just share art and have people pay, you know, for our own art, whatever. It's all about those third parties that just insert themselves into all the transactions. Like, you sure you want to give those people that? What just happened to my voice? Went over a bump. Anybody hear that? I don't know how good the audio is on this, but that was pretty funny. It was obvious to me. Might not have been obvious to you, but it was obvious to me. It was like, blah. You know, because the roads are so well taken care of. In these bluer areas. High traffic, bluer areas. Those lights. Somebody's home. And they want everyone to know I'm home. You're like, you're the only person in your entire apartment complex that's there in the off season. If I'm going to kill someone, it's going to be her. If you do that, if I say that and do that, that's big. There's big problems. Big problems to be had. Can't really imagine killing somebody. No thanks. I didn't even like processing crabs, if you guys remember that story. Yeesh. You're gonna have to go back and watch a previous episode if you want to get that reference. They all tie in. I think one of the hardest parts about doing these things is not repeating yourself. You know? Because it's like, listen, this is all I want to talk about right now. All I want to talk about is that one thing that everybody wants to talk about. You know that one thing? That thing that didn't happen? Or that other thing that's exaggerated? Or that guy that nobody wants you to find out about? Wait, you know what I said in the last one? I was going to call somebody out intellectually. I was going to do an intellectual call out. By the way, I drove past an area where I was like, I got to take a picture tomorrow. So I might want to do that. I just got an idea. Drifted off, imagining a sketch for tomorrow when I take the picture. So I think I'm going to do a little edit where it's like 5 minutes later or something like that. One of those. It's quick and easy. And I think it could splice up, it could spice up Tim driving uncensored. I want to keep calling it, even though I think I'll probably start doing these not in the car occasionally. I want to keep calling them Tim driving uncensored. Dude, there's like a fishing hut out there. Built it or who owns it, but I feel like it's a state-owned thing, but there's like a hut if you could go out there, or like hunting, like a hunting hut, like duck hunting maybe. Maybe that's what it is. Like geese. There's tons of geese that come up and down this area. A lot of geese come and stop, and they're like, and we're like, shut up, you Canadians, you stupid leafs. Shut up. All you Canadians need to shut up. Now, of course, I'm talking about the geese that are coming through this area. But, you know, I'm Canadian. I feel like they're trying to convince, they're like, I'm American. Well, yeah, I guess. You want to include America as one. There's South, there's North and South. And then there's the United States of. It's like, Canada's not one of our United States. That's what I don't understand. When did we stop offering people statehood? Statehood was awesome. We should just throw statehood in a couple of countries or something over in Europe. Like, bing, bing. You guys want statehood? All right, offer something. You want statehood? Like, what does that mean? It means you get protected by our military and we put a wall around your country. All right. Sure. We'll take a wall on your military protection. You're like, okay, because you already take military protection through the UN. But none of you, like all of your military spending, all your, like, to protect yourselves, now you don't have to really put that into military spending, because if something happens based on the UN Pact, we're going to come help you out. We're going to defend you. America is. So why don't you just, like, become a state, and then we'll just, like, open free trade with you. You know, at the very least, we'll just do free trade. Then we'll both, you know what I mean? Like, no taxes, no tariffs, no nothing. The price is the price. And then, you know, maybe, you know, whatever country has cheaper labor, you can have them do more labor. And if they're happy to do it, but it's not like their entire population is poor. They have different tiers as well. We're always incentivizing the rich people to come over. It should be like incentivizing like poorer people, but in a way that benefits those people who already live there. Hello. Has that changed? Man. That is crazy. It looks like that dune is way, way closer today. Man. What's going on today? It's very spooky out. If you guys can see, I'm going over the bridge. And you can't see it at the top of these, so you can still see a fair amount. But when you look, because it's so flat here, because I'm up in the bridge, you can't see very far. Just fog everywhere. Is there a nuclear blast recently? Did someone blast a nuke somewhere? I haven't even looked at the news, so I have no idea. But you know what? I'm going to continue doing my video. And be like, maybe there's a nuke that went off. Saturday. Friday night would be the time to do it. Nobody would notice. They'd all be at the bars. Like, did a nuke just go off? I'll find out tomorrow. And then the next morning, holy crap, it had gone off. I was so drunk last night, I thought it was a joke. Oh man. This is bad. See, the promos should cut before I start laughing. You know what I mean? If I'm doing a promo, it should cut before I start laughing. Like, once you can learn to not laugh at your own jokes, you're gonna be great. You're gonna be real funny out there. If you can learn to laugh just at other people, and even not at them very often. Just look at like where people are like, is this guy serious? Or is he joking? It's like, well, sometimes I'm serious, sometimes I'm joking, sometimes I'm being serious in a jokey way, or being jokey in a serious way. there's all kinds of combinations, man. The question is it going to hurt anybody, whether I am or aren't, to talk about it? That just blew somebody's mind. Somebody just went, whoa, dude. Whoa. Bro. Slow down. Slow down. And I'm like, I'm not even going 50 miles an hour. Miles an hour. Don't even get me started on the fact that we haven't just switched to the metric, dude. Ugh. Somebody said, I was talking to that guy. That guy in Echo Grid. I was talking to Echo Grid, the music guy. Who was genuinely nice dude, solid dude. And he's like, I don't agree with your politics, but I did, I happen to watch your stuff and I do enjoy it. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. I have no idea what that means. Maybe there's like, maybe he's like, I don't know. I have no idea. I couldn't tell. He just was a genuinely nice dude. Enjoy his music. And he and I kind of saw eye to eye. And I was like, I ran this pitch by him. Because this is a short film I want to make. And I was like, and based on the one I've already done, we'd be like, I bet this one would be easier. This would be easier to do with money and with a crew. Water tower. Another one. Where are they getting their water delivered from? You guys get your water? My parents buy bottled water for me. I'd buy it for myself if I could. Guys, this is nothing like driving with me normally, by the way. This is nothing like driving with me normally. Normally, music's on. You know what I mean? I'm going to have to do I'm going to give it away. Because I think I might be wrapping this episode up soon. I'm starting to say that around 17 minutes to try and keep things punchy. Crap, what was I saying? Remember that thing about Memento? That's why I told you about that. Because I was like, I'm gonna get off track and forget about a bunch of stuff that I wanted to talk about. Stuff that was triggered in my mind. Like I'd say a certain thing and then something got triggered, and then I'd be like, what the? Oh my gosh, dude. Kid, dude. I just took you on a tour of Boston, guys. Tour of Boston and ages. It's hard to do this with the windows open. That's one thing I need to do. I remember that from last time. Be like, make sure you turn the heat off. But the thing is, like, my heat is off, but it's always blowing hot air unless you switch it to cold air, and my AC is broken. So I just like switch it to cold, and then it's just outside air. And you're like, oh, that's good. Dude, they always make that face when they give you the air cabin filter. They're like, that's the air you're breathing. And you're like, yeah, I'm fine with that. I was like, dude, I have the windows down all the time. All the time. This is the only time I have the windows up. See, that's the thing. I have to put the windows up for sound. And then I open this. I normally have that shut. That shut, windows down. At least mine, at the very least, a crack. Always open. No matter how cold it is. Just because it's like, I'm outside. I want air that's out here. And then you're like, oh wait, chemtrails. No, I don't. Alright, we're now in the non-foggy area because we're no longer near the ocean. So the people at the ocean right now are like, oh my gosh, is everything okay? Did a nuke go off? And then over here, everyone's like, we're all fine. That lady is big. That lady was big. Too big. Too big for me. I would not want to be that big. Just because, dude, I'm already lazy. You know what I mean? I'm already lazy. You know what I mean? People look at me and they're like, that guy's not lazy. And I'm like, I don't know, dude. I might be too lazy to even go and get a snack sometimes. That's how lazy. I'm full circle. Full circle. Like, she could probably live without eating anything. Like, eat less, exercise more? Absolutely. Absolutely. That helps. But you can eat differently. And then you'll just start eating less. All of a sudden you'll be like, wait a minute. Now that I'm eating this way, we're back on food. That was last episode, Tim. That was last episode. Stop repeating yourself. Guys, this is a rerun. This is a clip show. This is the clip show. We should do that. You guys remember when I said this? PewDiePie should do a clip show of himself. Guys, can we get this to PewDiePie? PewDiePie, please do a clip show of yourself. Please host a clip show, wear a tux, and host a clip show of yourself. Because I don't know how much longer the entire world is going to be around. And you don't want to pass up an idea that good. Can it just say produced by @TimStapers? That's all. That's all. Produced by @TimStapers. And then you guys can do all the work. And then my name will be forever attached to something PewDiePie did. Woo! Woo! Now, going forward, I will say that all future episodes, you guys can keep the full income for all future PewDiePie clip shows, if you want to do one a year. It doesn't have to be clips of you. It could be clips of the memes. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't, you know what I mean? It could just be anything that was on your show. But you can make it self-deprecating by being silly about it. This is a really good idea, dude. I hope this gets to PewDiePie. I hope it does. Oh, man. It would be great if it did. So if you're an editor, edit that clip out, send it to PewDiePie. And then he'll come and listen to the rest. And then he'll be like, oh, check out @TimStapers and his amazing, YouTube web series, Dream of Me. Best experienced on a desktop. Best experienced on a desktop. In its original form. In its original 4-episode form. All I'm saying, guys, is when you watch that for art direction, you may or may not get the sense that somebody was trying to redefine the circle to something a little bit better. Something a little better. Hey! Somebody was trying to redefine the circle into something better. Dude, the first round of credits on that, I showed to a couple people, and I put, like, in the special things, I put Jesus Christ. And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do that. I was like, because it's gonna piss a bunch of people off, because it's still a good movie, and it's like, dude, I'm not trying to convert anybody, but I do have to do things in Jesus' name. You know what I mean? And it's like, but I'm not trying to convert anybody. You know, that's your journey. I'm just saying, this was mine. And then, then you just talk to other people. How do you feel about Jesus? How do you feel about Jesus? You go, oh, no, you're a Christ cook. Which is a funny term. That's funny. There are atheists that are like, I agree with 100% on. Ryan Dawson is somebody. Ryan Dawson, I have watched a lot of his stuff, and he doesn't have a huge following. it's like, well, I don't know. This guy posted some Thomas Sowell. Anybody who posts some Thomas Sowell is okay in my book. I enjoy Thomas Sowell. Have for quite some time. Been constantly telling people to, hey, why don't you read this guy? Hey, why don't you read some Thomas Sowell? It's pretty good. But even Thomas Sowell didn't know certain things were going on, or he didn't want to talk about them. He might have been so smart that he was like, I'm not going to talk about it. I'm just going to go through life, play the game. You know what I mean? But he was like, dude, he was the one they didn't want you to find out about. They were like, they found out about Martin Luther King Jr., that's fine. They're like, they found out about, they meaning black people. They found out, and then he was like, they found out about what? They found out about Malcolm X. They're like, we can kind of deal with it. We can kind of deal with it. And I like some of the stuff Malcolm X said. I was like, this guy's kind of, he's onto it. He kind of knows what's up. And then, but then Thomas Sowell was like, yo, this guy can convince anybody of the way of how they've been lied to. He can show a lot of people how they've been lied to without saying you're being lied to. Because you can't just go, you're being lied to, and people are like, what? By whom? Yeah, everybody lies a little. Like, no, like just straight up. Just some people are like, I can't believe they believe that. They believe that? They believe that? Really? Well, don't say anything. Don't say anything. Just be nice. Like, ha ha ha. Yeah. Like, they believe this happened. And you're like, wait a minute. Am I the weirdo? Am I the weirdo for believing this? And like, probably, in some ways, maybe, you know? Listen, I'm not saying the earth is flat. I'm saying I've listened to some flat earthers and it's like, that's an interesting argument. That was it. I was like, this is an interesting argument. And then, and I was like, and they're making a good point by calling everybody globetards, which I thought was hysterical, because kind of proving a point. This guy was Jake the Asshole. I thought he was pretty funny. I just watched a couple of his things, and I was like, that's kind of funny. No idea. I just saw like 2 things where he was like standing in front of a TV, and I didn't even watch the whole thing. I watched like the first hour, and I was like, wow. I've actually heard a couple legitimately good points here. And then I watched like a Vsauce thing, but then I watched him debunk the Vsauce, and I was like, there's a lot of good arguments being thrown around here. I was like, I don't know what to believe anymore, but I'll tell you this, we didn't go to the moon. We did not go to the moon. And you're like, oh man, yeah, we did it. Even like people in my bloodline who I've never talked to about anything of that, like the big serious stuff that's really going on, was like, we, you know that scene in Interstellar where you're like, you can see it 2 ways, where you watch that scene in Interstellar where the girl's like, I believe it was a brilliant piece of propaganda. Who, by the way, is a great comedic actress. Really funny. She's been in Hot Tub Time Machine, and she was also in, what was the other one? I can't remember. Oh, was she in Observe and Report? Yeah, she was in Observe and Report, which is a highly underrated movie, Observe and Report. Couple guys walking their dogs. Just some regular fellers out there walking dogs together. They aren't gay. It doesn't matter. Even if they were. Those are good looking dogs. Yo, those are good looking dogs, man. What are even feed these dogs? We only feed them eggs and chicken. We make chicken for them. Now that's not a gay thing to do. That's just a smart thing to do. Is to, you know, cook like real food for your dog. Same with cats. I think that's why dogs and cats and humans get along so well. Because we eat the same stuff, pretty much the same stuff. And then you start putting dry food in there, and they're like, what is this? Are you out of your mind? I'm not eating this crap. Dry food? Give me a slab of meat. And you're like, oh, jeez, dude. All right. You know what I mean? They start to resent their master if their master doesn't give them good enough food. They're like, dude, are you sure you're the alpha dog? Because I think I could get better food than this out in the yard. You know I could catch one of those geese out there. And you're like, dude, you couldn't catch shit. You know, there's certain little dogs that have that mentality. And you're like, dude, you couldn't catch anything. Don't be an asshole. I'm not saying that's how my parents' dog is. Molly's pretty cool, actually. She's got the right amount of little dog and big dog in her, where she's really entertaining. No matter what kind of a dog you're into, whether you're in a big dog or a little dog, she'll be. She's a fun one. She's a lap dog. She's like a Pekingese or something. Anyway. I've already said too much about the dog. I've already said too much. Does this Tim driving uncensored? Oh my gosh, I can't believe you're putting that out on the internet. They're already listening to me. I'm gonna make a t-shirt that says I'm huge with the NSA. Oh man. They're like, we gotta keep an eye on this guy. All the time we listen to this guy. Why? Because he's fascinating. I don't think that's why. Maybe they keep changing people out. I don't know. Maybe they're like Hannibal Lecter in my case, where they're like, you know, trading it around to a bunch of different people. But the stories, he knows that they're gonna tell stories. So he does stuff, and they're like, oh no, he's actually a monster. Oh no, he'll actually bite your face. He's very calm and charming, and he will bite your face. That's me, guys. I come from a long line of Slavs. I don't know. Latvian. Dude, nobody knows where Latvia is. I looked up Latvia recently. And I saw a video, and it was like, everybody in Europe loves to go to Latvia because Latvian wives put their men above all else. And like, I was like, geez Louise, really? I'm gonna go to Latvia and get a wife. Get a Latvian wife. I don't know if, you know, I gotta date and find one that, you know, has the same stance on Jesus as I do. That is something that I will say. That's one of those Jesus teachings that works even if you're not into Jesus. You know what I mean? Like if you meet somebody and you're like, so how do you feel about Jesus? Right off the bat, that should be the first question. So how do you feel about Jesus? And then they go, I love the guy. And you're like, wow. You know what I mean? We'll be friends. We can be friends. You know what I mean? That type of thing. And then you maybe hang out as friends, but I wouldn't recommend it. Not if you like were meeting under certain pretenses, because then it's like it's hard to things get weird. When you meet like a friend's wife or something, or a friend's girlfriend, you're like, finally, I can have a female friend. Cool. Guess what, dude? Guess what? What? This guy, fucking, well, he got drunk one time. You know what I mean? Whatever. That's what you say to your friends, girlfriends, or wives, or whatever. But, like, I always treat them like one of the guys, but then, or like one of my sisters, essentially. And then sometimes guys are like, dude, don't talk to my wife. And I'm like, oh, all right, sorry, dude. You know, because there's certain things you'd say in, like, unigender company that you wouldn't say in multigender company. You know what I mean? Like if you were gonna say grab somebody by the pew, you're gonna say that. Grab them by the pussy. Because that's what he said. Which I do agree with his. I mean, when you listen to that full clip, you're like, oh, I do kind of agree with that. I do agree with the point he was making. That is sort of true. That is sort of true. Because women won't even date a guy who makes less than she does. That's what the studies show. That's what the studies show. They're sitting at, those people were sitting at that stop sign for a little while. It looked like they were looking at me. I was like, were they looking at me? It was a big SUV. It's the NSA, guys. Am I being followed? That would be stupid. Don't do that. Don't follow people. That's so weird. It's so weird. Have I ever followed anybody? Maybe one time. I was like, oh shit. It's like she just lied on the phone. She just lied to me. And I was like, I'm gonna take a different route home. And I was like, there she is. Holy shit, she lied. Wow. Bink. And I think she was like, dude, I think he might have saw me. I did. It's always tough to find out somebody lies to you a lot. It's never easy. It's never easy to find out that somebody that you really like and never lied to, and just kind of was like almost too honest with, because then people are like, geez, dude, keep something to yourself. And they're like, no, I'm going to tell you everything, even the weird stuff, even the stuff that gonna make you go, really, dude? It's disgusting. You're sick. Get away from me. You're like, no, that's the truth. You gotta focus on the fact that I'm being honest. Why would I say this? Why would I tell you all this if I wanted you to leave? So you know all my secrets now. You try to tell anybody, I'll kill you. That's marriage. Yay! Tell anybody, I'll kill you. No. Till death do we part. No. Don't be silly. Am I getting followed by another SUV? It's another SUV. It's just everyone in this area drives an SUV because they're all old people. It's all old SUV drivers. So even if you were like a paranoid android, like in this area, dude, you'd be in trouble because there's just so many SUVs. And like, there's one. There's no other cars, by the way. I'm looking around and there's no other cars out. Okay, there's a sedan next to it. All right, well, be honest. Okay, another sedan. But then there was also that SUV and then that other SUV. Both of those SUVs are similar. Another SUV, sedan. I'm driving by like a really, like, it's all resort areas, so like inside the resorts where it's all fancy and they have like golf courses and stuff, everything's pretty empty, but everything looks nice. Nobody's there, but everything looks nice. So maybe that's why it looks nice, because nobody's there. Well, that's a truck, but we're gonna put that in the follow around people, see what you mean. But anybody could for them. I got on way too long. Way too long. I gotta find a better drive over in this area. I gotta find like that good drive where it's like you're wrapping up the drive and you're wrapping up your convo. Well, song. Talked about a lot of weird things in this one, and I went all over the place, and I totally lost train of thought. But the PewDiePie Awards clip, that should go. That should go. And Ryan Dawson. What was I saying about Ryan Dawson? Oh, Ryan Dawson is an atheist whom I agree with on a lot of things. A lot of things. But I am not an atheist. I do also like the fact that, but I do, here's one thing that I think he's wrong about. He said that the book, he referenced the book of Jonah and like people believing that somebody was swallowed by a giant fish. And also, while we're at it, let's add Styx Hexenhammer on there, because Styx has said, like, I don't believe in a God. Even if I wasn't an atheist, I wouldn't follow the Christian God because it's burn in hell, or worshiping or burn in hell. Which I agree with him with. I agree with him on that. And both of these guys, I'll direct both of these guys to a guy named Tim Mackey, who right now he does this thing, this nonprofit called the Bible Project, which I would recommend a lot of their stuff. He speaks ancient Hebrew. He has a doctorate. I think he has more than one, maybe. I don't know. He speaks ancient Hebrew. He sight reads out of a Hebrew Bible. He's still a Jesus follower. But his understanding of the Bible is different than anything I've ever experienced. And I grew up in a Christian household where it was like, the rapture and this, that, and the other thing. Whereas Tim Mackey gets into like multiverse theory. He doesn't really talk about multiverse theory, but he throws those things out there, I think, as like things that he believes in. And they still hold up with the story that the Bible is telling. So his stuff I would recommend to anybody, especially if you're looking for somebody who sight reads ancient Hebrew. I would check out some of his teaching sermons or whatever. The My Strange Bible podcast is the best one to start with. Ironically, the first 6 hours are on the book of Jonah. And I've had more than one person who's like, doesn't believe in Jesus or doesn't believe in the Bible reference the book of Jonah as part of the reason why. Like, guy in a fish, come on, get out of your mind. And you're like, it's funny you should bring that up. Because there are people out there that believe the book of Jonah is basically like a comic book of the day. If you look at the types of writings that were popular at the times, blah, 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 blah. That's what I hear. This guy speaks ancient Hebrew. He studied the Dead Sea Scrolls. He's gone to Israel, I think, a couple times. He's a Christian guy, but I think he also is like one of those people that, like, after watching his stuff, I was like, I think we should do a proper Seder supper before Easter. So I did that, and he also was like, you should read the Maccabees. I haven't read the Maccabees yet, but just finished the Torah. Ugh, dude, Bible is exhausting reading. It's exhausting reading, but I recommend it to anybody. Just to read it. Just to read it. There's I think atheists and other people tend to read it more than people that say they believe in it these days. Based on some people's ideas, I'm like, where are you getting that? That's not in there. No. Anyway, song. The Hives, Die All Right, off of Vinny Vitty Vicious. There you go. That's your suggestion. The Hives, Die All Right, off of Vinny Vitty Vicious. The Hives are like one of the greatest bands ever. I've seen them live a couple times with a very good friend of mine. All right. Okay, everybody. Bye.